Okay, so we're going to have a look at arithmetic series now. Okay, so we've had a look at sequences. A series is the exact same thing, but instead of it going 3, 6, 9, it'll be 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12. Okay, so that's a series. You're adding to increase your sequence, okay? So if we're talking about arithmetic, you've got a formula for finding, say, the sum of the first 10 terms. So rather than adding up the first 10 terms, you can just use your formula, okay? And your formula is Sn. So the sum of the first n terms. That's what Sn means, okay? Sum of the first n terms, and it is n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Now, that again is given to you in your log tables. So if we look here on page 22, you have your arithmetic sequence or series, and then you have your Sn. Okay, so page 22. So it's the same scenario as getting your Tn. A is your first term, D is your common difference. Okay, so if I want S10, I'm getting the sum of the first 10 terms. Okay, S4, sum of the first 4 terms. So I'd be saying 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12. Okay, but if it's bigger than 4 or 5 or 6, it's much quicker to just use your formula. So let's do an example. Find the sum of the series 4 plus 11 plus 18 plus 25 up to 144. So they're giving us the last term in our series. Okay, so we want the sum of all of these added together, including this bit in the middle. Now, if we're going to get the sum of this series, first of all, I'd need to find out how many terms are in the series. Okay, now to find out how many terms are in the series, we're looking to find out what term is this. Okay, what term number? And if we find out that's the 10th term, we're looking for S of 10. If it's the 15th term, we're looking for S of 15. So we need to find out what term number is this. So to do that, we put our Tn equal to 144. Okay, Tn is equal to 144. Now we'd need to find out what Tn is. So Tn is your formula. A plus n minus 1 times d. In this series, A is 4. And the difference is, so what's happening each time? So 11 take 4 is 7. 18 take 11 is 7. So my d is 7. Okay, so just keep going there. 4 plus 7n minus 7 is 144. So 7n minus 3 is 144. There's my Tn equals 144.
Miss, you know how you multiply it out there?
Yeah?
Like when you say 4 plus, how can you make the 7 a minus?
Because it's 7 by n is 7n, 7 by minus 1 is minus 7. Basically, do you see that 7 there? That's the same as having a 7 there. And you do 7 by n, 7 by minus 1. Okay, that's all that 7 there means. Okay. So
what about the n over 2?
Now, see, at the minute I'm not using my sum formula because I don't know how many terms am I summing. Am I summing 10 terms, 15 terms? So I'm not using my Sn formula at all. Okay, that's coming next. At the minute all I'm doing is I'm trying to find out what term number is this, because if it's the 10th term, then I'm going to do S of 10. Okay, so I just need to find out what term is this so that I can figure out how many terms I need to sum. Okay, so We're going to bring that minus 3 over and it's going to become plus 3. So 147. So then n is 147 divided by 7, which is 21. So what that means is there are 21 terms in my series. So if I'm looking for the sum of the series, I'm looking for the sum of 21 terms, S of 21. So now we're going to use our SN formula. Can I get rid of the board? Okay. So what we're interested in is S of 21. Okay, so anywhere you see N, you're now putting in 21. Your A is the same as what it was a minute ago. A is your first term. And your D is the common difference. Sorry, this is a different... Sorry. Go back to my other series. What was it? 4 plus 11. A is my first term there, and D is my common difference. Okay, so all I've done is I filled in N is 21 here and here. I filled in my A and I filled in my D. Okay, and you can just throw that into your calculator. 20 times 7. Okay, and then multiply by 21 divided by 2. You can just throw it straight into the calculator. So the sum of the series, which is the sum of the 21 terms, is 1554. Any issues there? Okay, let's do another example. Can I get rid of this? Okay. Okay, so to celebrate the birth of his niece, find the total saved after 21 years. So if you want, you can start with your series of numbers. Okay, so we know he's putting in 50. The next year he's increasing it by 10, so it will be 60. And so on. Okay? So that means my first term is 50 and my difference is 10. So let's just we're looking for the total saved after 21 years. So that's the sum of the first 21 terms. Let's just get S of n first. okay? N over 2, 2a, which is 50, plus n minus 1 times d. Just multiplying out, 10 by n, 10 by minus 1. So there's your sum formula. So that's the sum of the first n terms. We're interested in the total saved after 21 years. So we're interested in the sum of the first 21 terms. So S of 21. So instead of n, you're just going to throw in 21. Okay, so at the end of the 21 years, they'll have saved 3,150. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, can I get rid of the board? Yeah. Okay, let's just have a look at this. You don't need to take it down. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10. Okay, let's just have a look at this series. Now, if I said the sum of the first two terms, that would be 4 plus 2, which is 6. And the sum of the first three terms would be 4 plus 2, which is 6, plus 6, which is 12. Now, if I take those two away from each other, 6 from the 12, I'm left with that 6. Okay? Now, let's do that again. What about if I do the sum of the first three terms, okay, which is 12, and then the sum of the first four terms, which is 20. When I take those two away, I'm left with that term that I've added on, okay? So S of 3 and S of 4, when I take them away, when I take them away, S of 4 was 20, S of 3 was 12. When I take them away, I get 8, which is T4. So the sum of the first four terms, take away the sum of the first three terms, gives you the fourth term, because that's what you're adding on to get the sum of the fourth. Okay? And that would be the same if I was interested in these, the sum of the first four, okay, which we said was 20, and the sum of the first five, which would be 30. Sum of 5 take sum of 4 gives me the 10, which is T5. So you're going to use that now. This is something really important. Okay, so what I do want you to take down, okay, this is the bit I want you to take note of. Okay, S of n plus 1 minus S of n. N plus, maybe I'll do it this way. S of n minus S of n minus 1, yeah. So, the sum of the first n terms, take the sum of the first n minus 1, so one previous to that, gives you your Tn, okay? If you think about this, so maybe you need to write this bit down next to it. Sum of the first four terms, take the sum of the first three terms, gives you the fourth term. So that's your n, and that's one previous, n minus 1. Okay, so that gives you your Tn. Sum of the first 5, take sum of the first 4, gives you T5. So we're going to use that now, okay, but it is just something I would say learn it off. So you can always find Tn provided you're given Sn. That's what we're going to use it for. If you have Sn, then you can find S of n minus 1, and then it's very easy to get Tn. You're just taking them away. So we'll do an example of that now. Can I get rid of the board? Okay. Okay, given that Sn is n squared minus 4n, find an expression for Tn. So we know Sn minus S of n minus 1 gives you your Tn. So all we need to do is find out what S of n minus 1 is. Now S of n minus 1 just means instead of n, you're putting n minus 1. So instead of n squared, it's n minus 1 to be squared. Instead of minus 4n, it's minus 4n minus 1. You're just replacing n with n minus 1. Now we're just going to tidy that up. We're squaring out brackets, so you either write the bracket out twice and do first number, second bracket, second number, second bracket, or square the first, product of the two multiplied by 2. So that's minus 2n, square the last, plus 1. Okay, so either first number, second bracket, second number, second bracket, or multiply it out. N squared minus 2n plus 1. And here, minus 4 by n, and minus 4 by minus 1. So there's our S of n minus 1. Now, we know we're going to take that answer from S of n, and that will give us T of n. So, write out your Sn, take all of S of n minus 1, okay, so you have to use brackets here, and that will give us Tn. So we have n squared minus 4n minus n squared minus by minus plus 6n minus 5. And just tidy up. 6n take 4n is 2n minus 5. The n squareds cancel. So your Tn is 2n minus 5. And then you could use that to find T1, T whatever. Okay,